Hey everyone, it's 10 Types and Hot Wind Arena, or Heat Wave Arena, or Hot Air Arena, or something. This set just released in Japan at the time of recording this. And the tournament results from like the city league and stuff, they're not actually out here on Limitless. I don't know if they've happened, or I don't know exactly how Limitless does it. So today we're looking at a different website, PokeCow Book or something. I don't know if I said this right. It is in Japanese, so we are doing translations. It's images, so it shouldn't be an issue. But this is why I usually don't use this website, though it does have it's Japanese deck lists. This is going to be making up our second set of the year. Destined Rivals. I'd say this is the bulk of the set. However, we do have the Rocket stuff. We also have the Marnies and Stevens stuff. The Marnies and Stevens stuff, I've taken a look at some of my channel. We'll probably be looking at today some. We'll see. But yeah, these cards are out. I'll be talking about these even more in the future. Some, and I've talked about them already as well. And so I have some different stuff on my channel about these. This is not like an absolutely insane set. The Cynthia stuff is the main stuff, but there's other decent stuff as well from this set. There's Sacred Dash, which is a decent trainer. Judge is not being reprinted. Well, it kind of is. It's literally being reprinted, but it's not reprinted with the new regulation mark stuff. Anyone's wondering about that. It's not, it's not really a new card, so that's a thing. But yeah, let's hop right in. And we're going to take a look at, there's some different decks here. Let's look at the Marnie's list and the Stevens list first. I'm not going to dive too much into this. Marnie's Grip Style EX accelerates energy to Marnie's Morpeko. That's not necessarily a main part of the deck. You also see some different darkness stuff here. And we see Dusknoir here. We see Budew. We see Munkidori. And we see the idea that you're just like attacking and you can search stuff out pretty easily. Marnie's Morpeko plus Survival Brace. It has 70 HP. You can go ahead and heal it by 60 with 2 Munkidoris, and then be healing it every single turn. And Survival Brace will mean you're never one shot, so that's pretty powerful if you can get it going. If you, if it something goes wrong at any point in the process, then it all kind of falls apart. So it's not like your entire deck build. You see a bunch of Marnie use Grimmstone EXs to accelerate energy and to be attacking options as well. And you see some different stuff, including this Brute Bonnet. I have not seen that card in quite a while. It can do some damage. It seems kind of... Oh, yes, you have Scramble Switch there. You see Frostlass as well. And Ceruledge. We see a bunch of different decks. Nothing like too crazy going on in any of these, though. But the deck's cool, and it's been out in Japan for a little while. Then the Steven stuff. This is more interesting to me. There's so much of tanky stuff, and in energy acceleration, it's to psychic and metal Pokemon, psychic and metal energy to psychic and metal Pokemon. So we see Liz Clefairy EX, for example. We see Fruit EX, which evolves from Girafarig, which is psychic Pokemon, so you can accelerate there. And it's pretty tanky as well. There's a lot of it. It has 340 HP, and will take theoretically 60 less with the Stadium and the Stevens Care Bank. And then we even see like Big Air Balloons, which is kind of fun to give you free retreat. And Lilies is an important part of these decks. Some of them, it looks like this one is pretty like straightforward attacking and like healing with Munkidori. We don't even see the Stadium, it doesn't look like, in this list, which is really interesting to me. This one's a Hydreigon EX list. I guess this actually helps power it up a lot. The Metal Energy is kind of hard to... Or no, the Darkness is, you're not going to be able to get with the Stevens Metagross EX, but also an important part of attacking with it. You can attack with UEX, you can attack with Fluttermane. Not going too in-depth into these cards. We see Revavroom EX, the Lightning one. This is actually a fun card. It's not super good, but it's fun. This one is Slowking. I did see this deck. I don't think I talked about this, but it is kind of cool. I talked about Slowking, but I haven't talked about it with Stevens. I made a video on Slowking. The best way to play Slowking is definitely Xatu. Some people had questions about that. I kind of explained in a YouTube comment to someone, but the idea is that it's someone else actually I think said something similar as well, which was helpful. But Slowking, Xatu is the best way because you're focused on single prizers. They're kind of similar Pokemon. Someone compared it to Regidrago, and there certainly are similarities. But Teal EX is easier, but also less explosive and is more vulnerable. I mean, it's a two-prizer, right? And so that's why that works better with Regidrago, and then Xatu would work better with Slowking, despite being a little less consistent. because it's a stage 1 and does need to be on the bench as well. But you already have inconsistencies with needing the stadium, which we only see 2 cops in this deck. I guess it's not like a Slowking heavy focus, but yeah, I wanted to mention that here. Stevens Metagross EX is honestly Stevens as a whole is my favorite trainer from this set. However, it's not it's not the newest of those, but also it's not necessarily the best. The best is probably the Cynthia stuff. Cynthia's Garchomp EX does really solid damage. First attack is 100, and you can draw it, and second attack's 260. The downside is you discard all energy from it, and it has free retreat as well, and so that's fine. We see this build that plays the new Shaman as well. The new Shaman is really good. It's bench barrier slash what's Manaphy's ability again? Wave Veil. Yeah, I said it was like Aqua Veil or something, I think once. But yeah, Wave Veil. And it's slightly different. It has more HP, so it's not Buddy Buddy Pop and Search Ball, which is a serious downside. And we only see Ultra Balls to search out. And Artizone. Yeah, you have ways to search it out. It's not that hard. Also, there's new research arts. I was like, that's kind of cool. But then you also have the fact that it does not protect your benched Roblox Pokemon or EXs. It doesn't protect Roblox Pokemon on the bench, but you're not really looking to protect, say, your Cynthia's Garchomp EX here. Then you do have we don't even see the Roserade here. We do see the Cynthia's Power Weight card, though, which does increase your HP by 70, so you're up to 400, which is a lot. We see Crispin, and we don't see that much energy, actually. We only see 8, only 6 basics, only 3 basic fighting. It's kind of interesting here, and we see double Badoo, we see Frostlass, so it's like Badoo Frostlass stuff going on here. This next list is more so what they're going to look like normally. This one has, and by the way, these are all in Japanese tournaments. Don't know exactly how well they did. It's not translating, is it? There we go. Then obviously some of this like hot air arena environment. It's the new set, right? Translated different ways and at different times. Just using Google Translate here. But yeah, the Cynthia's Roserade increases damage by 30 for each one as well. And the Cynthia's Gabite searches for Cynthia's Pokemon. It's more important in deck with the Cynthia's Roserade, and we see Cynthia's Spiritomb as well, which does 10 damage for each damage counter on your benched Cynthia's Pokemon. Then that damage can also be boosted by Cynthia's Roserade. And then, of course, the Shaman protecting. I keep thinking it's the Pocket Shaman that heals. It's obviously not. Protecting your Gabites and your different things, your Cynthia's Roserades and Cynthia's Roselias as well. And that's really important to, just make sure that you're safe. And then you're powering up your Cynthia's Garchomp EX. You have really high HP, really high damage output, which is really good. We also see Power Glass. Power Glass is a weird item, a weird tool, allowing you to accelerate too. The Pokemon in the active after you attack, and it accelerates the basic from the discard to it, so it's there to allow you to theoretically stream Garchomp EX's second attack, though you will only have 330 HP because then you won't have Cynthia's Power Weight on. Not that's super low or anything, but you are. It's 70 lower, which is pretty substantial. And we see Precious Carry as well, or no, Precious Trolley. What? How am I? Yeah, Precious Trolley. I don't know why I'm forgetting the names of cards. But yeah, it's a really good. I don't love it as an item, but it's searchable with Arven, and then of course you can go ahead get a bunch of basics. Then after that, you'll get a bunch of Cynthia's Gabites, get a bunch of Cynthia's Rosaries onto your board. Then we have this next list. This is relatively similar. We see Hero's Cape. Wow, that's pretty surprising to me. Not exactly sure what that's here for. Because Cynthia's Garchomp EX, yes, 430 is more than 330, but it's solid. Again, you can also put Hero's Cape on Stevens Meteor EX, which is tanky. They both essentially have 400 HP with the buffs that they naturally have from that trainer's Pokemon. But yeah, you have your tool slot open for the Stevens Meteor EX. So you need a stadium as well. You need a stadium and you need a Pokemon on the bench. But yeah, this is nothing too crazy going on in the deck. The deck's pretty self-contained, like a lot of these trainers Pokemon, like Ends, Iono, I guess, and Hop as well. Hop and Iono are a little different, and obviously Lily is very different. Kind of like Steven and Marnie as well. They're pretty self-contained. You can mix and match with some different cards, obviously, but you most want to be playing these trainers Pokemon. We also see Justice. This one plays multiple Professor Tur's scenario to scoop up. Obviously, not so good for a Spirit Tomb here, but you have a lot of HP, and you have Cynthia's Power Weight. You'll be losing it, and there's only 2 in this list. That's interesting. I don't know how good Terra's scenario is here, but your first attack's decent. I mean, you can be doing up to um, 190 in this list. It's 100 base, and you can do the 90 from the Roserade. Oh, also this plays EXP share. EXP share I think is pretty underrated. It's not insane. It's a solid card, but it doesn't really get talked about that much. It's pretty nice. This last list again, nothing too crazy here. Actually, this one's pretty boring, but yeah, it's the deck itself. I think it's cool. It's been talked about a bunch. I've heard a few people say it's like insane and broken. I don't think so. It's pretty good. You have 2 good attacks. You have good support. It's damage boosting and HP boosting, so you got both of those covered. Oh, this process list also plays Maractus. And so you can, you have like some room as well. You're not super expensive to attack with. Not the cheapest, especially with the second attack. It's not the cheapest. The first attack's really cheap, which is why you can kind of press Terra Scenario, and it's a strike card, so it's cool. I like the Cynthia stuff. I don't absolutely love it. I don't think it's going to be necessarily better than Hops, and I think it's on a similar level to N, maybe a little bit stronger. I think there's a good chance it's top 10, and we're not going to see more cards from Cynthia's, I can't imagine. Yeah, tell me down below what you think about this one. This is the one I'm most interested in, I think, for what other people think it's most talked about. It's, Cynthia is really popular. The other trainers Pokemon are, they were like popular, I guess, but nothing crazy. Misty is popular, but Cynthia, I mean, it's definitely better. We'll talk about Misty's, though. We might not talk about Misty's very much, though. Then we have Ethan's, which is Ethan's Ho-Oh, which accelerates energy to your benched Ethan's Pokemon. And then you have the Ethan's Magcargo, which you discard up to 5 energy from it. Fire, I believe. And it does 70 for each one discarded. And you have the... Okay, this is interesting. We see... especially Ethan's Pinscher. This is like counter to Charizard. It's good against some other things. And then we still see the Shaman, despite having less bench Pokemon. Less single prize bench Pokemon, less non-EX bench Pokemon. This is, again, not protecting the Ethan's Ho EX, or maybe any of the EXs. Then the Ethan's Adventures, how it's translated here. Supporter, you search for 3 in a combination of Ethan's Pokemon and basic Fire Energy, put them straight into your hand. This supporter is, I think, decent. It's not amazing. I don't love it, but it's okay. And so you can, there's some synergies with it, with the Typhlosion line, but it looks like no one's playing that, and it's not super strong. So then you have the... to get a bunch of energy on board, and then just, attack with Ethan's Magcargo. And also does for your treat. If it doesn't have any energy, so does a pivot. I guess that's not that important, though, because you have a lot of SEX here. And then this other list, this one is really different. So Ethan's Ho-Oh EX can accelerate to any bench Pokemon. It can be itself. This attack's pretty bad. It's 160 for 4. Heal 50 from each of your Pokemon. It's acceptable with the ability, but it's not that good. Let me see Armoots. This seems actually really fun. I didn't think about this. I don't know why, but it seems really fun. You accelerate, obviously, to your benched, to wherever. It doesn't matter. It's to your bench Ethan's Pokemon to itself, but, bench Pokemon. And then you move it to the active with the Armoots. We see Armoots EX. We see Iron Hands EX. We see Latias EX to get some more versatility there to move around. We see 2. I actually feel like a Mew EX would be really good here. We see Pheasantipede EX here. We see... Squawkabilly EX, we see different Bloodmurse Luna EX. Obviously, those aren't all attackers, but they can all attack. Because you have Luminous Energy. Luminous Energy is any type of energy, and every type of energy, actually, when it's attached to a Pokemon with only one special energy attached. Never get 2 on the same Pokemon, then not only do they turn each other off, essentially, it is a colorless, I think, but on top of that, they'll be stuck there. You can't move them off with Armor, so keep that in mind. This deck seems really fun as a basic box deck. The different ones. This one we'll talk about in a moment. This one's like basic Terra Boxy. This one's not Terra Box. This one plays Ares on the episode. The second one, we see Regigigas. Regigigas actually seems really good here. We see the other Ho-Oh. This Ho-Oh is from Surging Sparks. Oh, I clicked the wrong card. and it does 170. Yeah, no, it does 200 if you have Terra on the bench. Okay, that's interesting. With the Armor Rouge, I was like, oh, this Armor Rouge is gonna be so bad. Oh, it's coming out in like May as well. Journey Together is not even out internationally, but um, with the Ho-Oh, you could do 200. You're losing Magma Base Nest, like Fire's gonna be really bad. You're losing NTV, but you still have Armor Rouge, and this seems pretty legit. Getting a bunch of energy and play with the Ethan's Ho-Oh EX. We see again the Iron Hands EX. We see TMS Ogerpon or no, Wilson Mass Ogerpon EX for spread. You're not doing this turn one. You cannot. We see one Water and one Legacy and two Luminous. Legacy energy is interesting. It's kind of like Lugia, honestly, here. Yeah, the deck feels pretty similar to Lugia. And then you have Trapghost, seems like similar-ish. Trapghost EX, it's a Terra, and it has a decent attack here. You see Lily's Clefairy EX, it's been getting a decent amount of buzz. It's really good for the next set. Die card that's game-breaking, but it's good. It's probably the best card from Journey Together. The next international set, which is already out in Japan for a little while. Then this list plays the Revavroom engine, nothing crazy. It's the Ethan's Magcargo, Ethan's Ho-Oh EX. This one pretty basic as well. Then this last list is actually really interesting. Does not play Ethan's Magcargo, does not play Armor Rouge, no stage ones here. Just Ethan's Ho-Oh EX. Plays Latias EX and Badoo's attacking options. And then you play Monkey Dory and Bravery Charm. I guess the idea is that you just heal a lot. You have Monkey Dory. You can theoretically heal 90 with Monkey Dory. I just don't see that happening. But you'll be up to, you have 230 base HP, so you'll be all the way out with that to not enlarge it much. Won't get much clearer, but you have 230 HP. You'll be up to 280, which is pretty good. You see Calamity. What's that? Calamitous Snowy Mountain, which says when this is actually really interesting. Okay, this text is really crazy. And I guess I just didn't see this at first. So you get obviously the darkness on Monkey Door, which you can just attach these two Ethan's Ho-Oh EX to accelerate to one of them. Let's attack with that. And whenever any player attaches an energy from their hand to one of their basic non-water Pokemon, which none of them are, you put two damage counters on that Pokemon, you put them on yourself. Then the idea is you heal off that damage using Monkey Dory, and it's extra damage. Monkey Dory, there's two issues with the Monkey Dory that kind of stem from the same thing of that you might just be getting one-shotted. One, you can't get the energies on, but you can do that. You can do that with a lot of decks, to be honest, but here it is very doable. And then the other issue is getting damage on your own Pokemon, damage counters there. But you do that with Calamitous Wasteland. And I feel like you're not doing this too many times, and you're going to run out of energies as well. I mean, you play 8 Fire, and you can find them with Earthen Vessel, I guess. But then you have Night Stretch. You might even want more than that. You might want like a little more energy. I guess it's probably okay, though. If you're attacking with 3 of these, you need 12 energies. And that's all your Fires and all your Night Stretches. So that seems like a bit awkward. Like, I'd put in yeah, and it's a superior energy retrieval, energy recycler, something like that, But Calamitous Snowy Wasteland or whatever that card is, it's really interesting. You can get, I'm gonna say you don't have all your Monkey Dories and Darkness Energies in deck. You price like 1 or something, but you can get 60 on, you get 80 on, and then you can heal off the rest that you don't move with Monkey Dory, which is, I guess, good. Maybe it's bad. I don't know. Your attack's still not that good. It's only 160. 160 isn't very high. It's not like you're that tanky. You're moderately tanky, and if you survive a hit, that's nice. You heal 50 from each. You can kind of switch around using Latias EX. This deck's really interesting, but due to buy time, seems mediocre. To be honest, it seems okay, not like bad, but I feel like you're kind of trying to go fast as well, and you can go fast. I'm surprised there's no Squawkville EX actually in this list. I guess to keep your board more protected, but yeah, I don't know. This deck's really interesting, really unique. I'd actually also kind of like to see a Volcanion EX in this deck. You can't attack with it. I like to see it in some of these decks. You can attack with it. Again, it's not very good. It's like okay. Volcanion EX does 160 for 3, and then you move an energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. It's actually nice with Armor Rouge, and then in the active you burn, which is nice. So I'd like to see Volcanion EX in some of these decks. But anyways, Firebox seems like actually really cool. with this. I just didn't really think about it. It seems fun. Next we have, I guess, Grass Box or something. This is the Mega EX. When switching from the bench to the active, you do oh wow, this is one deck. Wait, what's the Crustle deck? Um so oh, this is the same deck, isn't it? Um so you have Crustle, which is it's like Mimikyu essentially. It's a little better. It's an evolution though. It's not great, but whatever. You have the Mega EX, which accelerates to itself, and then you can scramble switch here. Yeah, Mega EX isn't super good. Its energy accelerations, it will power itself up when you move from the bench to the active, and then you get through grass from the deck. And then we see scramble switch for um, the Iron Hands EX, and we see as well for Regigigas and for that uh, for the the Crustle, and then you can do 120. That's like not super good, but it is a wall. Um, it seems like kind of a weird random deck, but it does seem kind of fun. Nothing too crazy. It's like I don't know if I'd say it's not crazy. It's definitely a rogue deck, but kind of interesting to see that. When we have Ethan's Typhlosion. Okay, this is separate. I guess I should have talked about this before. Ethan's Typhlosion does well, so the Quilava switches for the Ethan's Adventure supporter, which again gets the Ethan's Pokemon and Fire Energy. And then you have Ethan's Typhlosion, which does 40-60 more for each Ethan's Adventure in your discard. So it can be doing all the way up to 280, which is like decent. They're not one-shotting everything. We see Togekiss. Oh, we see Ethan's Pichu. Ethan's Pichu is a baby Pokemon, free attack, free retreat, does 30. You draw one card. It's not super good, but it's cool and cube, you know. Oh, by the way, sorry, random rant. A bunch of people in my like Discord chat, they're using like the Cube chat, but like they're not talking about Cube. Like I don't think anyone's ever talked about Cube in that. Anyways, they're rant over. But yeah, no, Ethan's Pichu would be cool in that. Secret State. Actually, this list is really interesting. We see obviously a bunch of those Ethan's Adventure supporter, and then we see like versus Fighting Spirit, discard one, draw till you have six in hand, exchange ticket, switching your prizes with top X amount of cards in your deck or X the number of prizes you have. Let me see the Togekiss line. I'm not a big fan of it. It's pretty random, but it's kind of fun. Here we see Duststorm. We see the Dedenne to recover trainers. Not sure of the use of Dedenne. I'm going to be completely honest. Maybe it's to get exchange ticket back, but then you just play another one of those. Dedenne is an interesting card here. If you max spell, I really don't know. And then we see this list is a Gholdengo EX list with a bunch of Fire Energies and Ethan's Adventure, and you can attack with. I mean, there's just some different things you can do with this deck. Seems kind of weird and not super good to me, but whatever. Gholdengo I think is fine. This deck is more Gholdengo focused. This one does not play the Ace Spec card called Energy Search Pro. It plays Heroescape instead. Heroescape isn't the important thing, but you have room because you're not playing obviously all the types of energy. You're playing just fire to get value out of with Ethan's Adventure. We're not seeing Laventia in either of these lists either. You're kind of saying like, oh, which build of Gholdengo do I want? Where do I want to emphasize the energies? Because you have room, you obviously want metal energies. That's how you're attacking, but most of the energies don't matter. So you can get them with like fire for Ethan's Adventure, which seems okay, though not amazing. It just seems okay. And then you also have Lightning for Laventia, and there's other things as well. This next list plays a 2 Rabsca, which is interesting. We see Dunsparce, we see just Ethan's adventures, like the focus. I don't think this stuff's super good. And then we see this one, which is a Terra Box, which plays the Ethan stuff and a Noctowl and like Fanrotom. Well, it's not really Terra Box. It plays 2 Water Ogerpons, a Fighting Ogerpon, and a Lily's Clefairy EX. Yeah, not really sure what's going on in this deck. It's kind of interesting, just some different things that are like okay. It's pretty good. I mean, the Terra Box stuff is quite good. Then lastly, we have we have a few things here. This one has some like tournament winning decks, though I think it's stuff we looked at. Yeah, this is all things we've seen already. Then oh, this is different. This is Arven's. So this is Arven's as well. This has, yeah, these are the 2 decks. So we see a Future deck and a Spathra Bayonet EX deck, Spathra EX Bayonet EX. We see Gardevoir. Hydrapple EX, not playing the other Hydrapple. And then, yep, that's what's going on there. But we have two decks here. We got Misty's Gyarados, which discards the top 7 cards of your deck. You do 70 for each Misty's Pokemon you find there, and then you have this Misty side deck, which can put itself on top of your deck. You do have to discard the bottom card of your deck, which you don't really know what that is. And then you have a bunch of other Misty stuff. It's not super good. And then with the Misty's Magikarp, though, is immune to damage and effects of attacks on the bench, which is nice, really important. That's partially really why we don't see Shaman here. We see Precious Trolley to get a bunch of the Misty's Magikarps and Misty Psyducks onto your bench, and we see the new / Dream Potent item card here, Sacred Ash, shuffle up to 5 Pokemon from your discard into your deck, which is pretty good for increasing your deck, filling it full of those Missy's Pokemon. I think Missy's is solid, not amazing, but okay. This is Drayton to get Pokemon and trainers from the deck. Drayton's an interesting supporter, tier 2 supporter. Kofu as well, a tier 2 supporter. Oh, Kofu! Kofu is really interesting. Actually, because it says you put 2 cards from your hand on the bottom of your deck in any order, then draw 4. This card's out. It's just in Japanese because of my settings, but it's not great, right? Let's be honest. It's played in Snorlax. This person played it in this Badu, Dusknoir, Bloodmere Luna EX. But yeah, it's more like control-y stuff because it's again, I like a tier 2 supporter, I'd say. But it does have the effect of putting cards that you know on the bottom of your deck, cards that you know you're okay getting rid of. You're going to discard them using Psyduck. That's okay. Not a big issue. Maybe you're completely fine doing this because you'll know you'll recover them later. Or maybe not. Maybe they're just like cards you don't need. Hassel as well, the main supporter in this deck, which is interesting. Again, another tier 2 supporter. Then we see the Arven's deck. The Arven's deck is... This looks so bad. I'm going to be completely honest. You see... so the Arven stuff, you have... let's see. You got Arven's Bobastiff EX. The first attack does 150 if you have no damage on you. The second attack does 210 for 3. Neither of these seem very good. You have a Janine Secret Technique to accelerate energy and poison yourself, then Binding Mochi to do some extra damage. You see a bunch of Monkey Dories, but you're not like you don't have the Arven Sandwich to heal. So if your opponent hits you for any real damage, then Monkey Dory's not really going to cover it. Not really sure the direction of this deck, can be completely honest, but you can do decent damage with Binding Mochi. I think the Arven's plus Arven Sandwich stuff where you can just heal a bunch is okay. Not great. Definitely not like a competitive level deck, but like okay. You're not really sure the direction of this deck. There's Poison Binding Mochi stuff, which is decent. Binding Mochi is a really good card. It's a pretty good card. I don't know if I'd say really good. Obviously, mostly played in Cloth Terapagos. Can be tossed into... some different things as well. Post rotation. Apparently we see it in Arcaludon. With Brute Bonnet, you can do anything with Brute Bonnet here, really. I think this is Blissey deck. Did I cover this? No, I did not. This is that kind of interesting. Just like the Okidogi and the Okidogi EX is the main part, which is kind of what it's made for with Gene Secret Technique and stuff. You play an Enzorok EX as well, but this just seems like not a very good use of it. Arven's Bobastiff EX to me is a very mediocre Pokemon. Kind of reminds me of Oinkologne EX. Oinkologne EX was like kind of cool when it came out, but not super good, right? It was like this tanky Pokemon without that much HP, solid attacker without that much damage. So yeah, I don't like this. I'm just gonna say, I'm saying that, but Arven stuff is something that it's a little underrated, I guess. I mean, people are saying it's like completely terrible, and it probably is the worst of the trans Pokemon, but it's not unplayably bad. But overall, the set's really cool. I'm most excited for, honestly, that the Ethan's Ho-Oh Firebox deck seems really fun. But tell me down below in the comments what you're most excited for. Hope you enjoy them. Consider liking, subscribing, hitting the bell, join the channel as a member as well. But as I said, I hope you enjoyed, and as always, I'm excited to see you in the next video.